Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters challenge. I have two blended whiskies from Scotland. This is Clan MacGregor, introduced in 1936. I thought it was 1934, but their trademark saying 36. Trademark data. Anyway, back in the mid 1930s, Clan MacGregor was introduced as a value brand. I don't know if it was William Grant who introduced it, but it could have been because a lot of these companies will have a premier brand, above premium brand, then a flagship premium brand, and then they'll have some budget brands, and they might even, in many cases, try to disassociate themselves from it. This is the older bottle. There's a new updated label. They changed the bottle right before I bought it to this one. This was the new bottle when I bought this. Then they updated it again. Says, can't read that. It says complex. I thought it said complete. Complex, sweet, and mellow flavor. Distilled, aged, and blended in Scotland. It's bottled in New Jersey, Edison, New Jersey. 40% alcohol. There's an essay on the back. And it says aged 36 months, 3 years. Green bottle. Still make the green bottles, but I haven't seen these 750 milliliters for a while. They only have the big plastic jug bottles from around here these days. They might have them in the green bottles in other places, but I haven't seen that. I mean the glass bottles. Now here's Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire. Introduced 2019 in collaboration with HBO for a television special promotional. Then when the series went off the air, off the cable, off the satellite, off the streaming, then they got rid of the whiskey. So I got it for $14.99 at Star. I got to finish watching the video. I was watching a video from a guy. He found A Song of Fire and A Song of Ice for $9.99 at Trader Joe's in 2020, right at the beginning of the scamdemic. So, wow. And they're still selling it at Total Wine and More for $41.99. Either one, Ice or Fire, $41.99. But this guy found it in California at Trader Joe's for $9.99. And I thought I was getting a deal for, like I said, $14.99. Okay, so we got this beautiful aluminum twist cap on a Johnnie Walker. Clan MacGregor, when they used to sell these bottles, they were like around $11. At one time, $9.99. But then I guess when they decided to stop selling the glass bottles around here, Walmart was selling them for $5 a bottle. $5 even plus tax. So I bought two full bottles, $5. Why not? Here's the website for William Grant and Sons. Show you what kind of website attention they're giving this now. So it says, we achieve our goals together. Okay. 100% family owned, 6 family generations. Our story. The first drop of Glenfiddich flowed through our stills on Christmas Day, 1887 in Dufftown, Scotland. And Glenfiddich is the main single malt whiskey used. And so they're showing the Balvenie distillery. You can buy the Balvenie single malt on its own. Then 1898, Grant's whiskey was born, and later iterations saw it presented in its now iconic triangular bottle. Grant Standfast, blended Scotch, years old. The Glenfiddich and Balvenie Glenlivet Distilleries, Dufftown, Scotland. Now it's called Grant's triple wood. So $8.98. I thought they started the blend in 1987. So okay, I'm going to have to update that. So here's all they show. They own Grant's, Famous Grouse, Tullamore DEW, Sailor Jerry, River Vodka, Drambuie, all this other stuff. But then they show Clan MacGregor, but there's no click. You can't click anything. Same thing with Gibson's Finest Canadian or Three Barrels. The websites for all three of these, Clan MacGregor, Gibson's, and Three Barrels, sold in the United States as Reynal. But nope, no more clicking. Milagro tequila, I see that all the time. And I see a lot of ads from Milagro, like if you watch live sporting events, like baseball, the Cubs game, Cubs, they have Milagro out there on the billboard, behind the home plate on that board. Okay, so I think Milagro is very popular. All right, most of those brands they acquired from other people. Some of them they started themselves. Most of them they acquired. Oh, I know this is Clan MacGregor. It's very pale. Yeah, it's very pale. It doesn't look like they're adding. It's even got like a greenish tint to it. It doesn't look like they're adding any coloring to it. Song of Fire, maybe they're adding caramel coloring. I don't know. Hear a lot of sirens. That's not a good sign. Could be a wreck. Have a lot of wrecks around here. Got three main highways coming together, and people, they don't pay attention to what they're doing when they're trying to merge. That smells like Clan MacGregor, that peatiness, not smoke, just that old wood and compost pile. And I'm picking up a little smoke here, like that Kalila smoke. Taste, cheers. See, the Clan MacGregor tastes very light. It's very light. It's very thin and sugary, but it has a dry finish. And this one is very light, thin, and sugary. And I think that's why it's popular. You say, oh, it's just because it's cheap. Yeah, but there's a lot of cheap Scotch on the market. You can buy Sir Malcolm. I haven't seen that in a while. They used to have a lot of Sir Malcolm around here. It is pretty good, but it's not as light and sugary as this. Well, I smell smoke here. And I didn't smell it previously. Yeah. It's got a depth of flavor, a savoriness, a lot of different sweet, like fruit and candy, fruit and caramel candies. See, this whiskey had to grow on me because at first I wasn't detecting any of that. I was like, this thing is so basic and simple. It is a joke. And then as I kept sipping through it, it started bringing out more character. Now, could it be that I'm getting further down in the bottle? I don't know. I noticed that sometimes when I first try a whiskey, it's kind of okay. As I get further and further down the bottle, it seems like it gets sediment or it's subtle. I don't understand it. I can't explain it. Or just I'm getting used to it. But it seems like it gets better as you get lower. Isn't that bizarre? So I'm saying Clan MacGregor here. Sure looks light. It is. It's the Clan MacGregor. Real good product. I think it's better than Grant's Triple Wood Family Reserve, the Family Reserve. I hate to say that, but it just tastes better to me. And that's their budget brand. Some people say Busch tastes better than Budweiser, and Busch is their budget brand. A lot of people, including me, say that Milwaukee's Best Light is better than Miller Lite. Miller Lite's their flagship, supposed to be their premier product. I drink Milwaukee's Best Light, has a better flavor to me. Oh, yeah. Now, is the Johnnie Walker A Song of Fire a better product? I think it is. Yeah, it's more developed, got more characters, age longer. It's not just a 3-year age. They don't have an age statement, but it's probably 6 to 8, but they don't say, Uh, you say, well, wait, how did they start aging it if it didn't come into play until 2019? You telling me they preemptively started developing it for this product? No, 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 no. You see, because Johnnie Walker has access to many aged whiskeys, and they don't make any whiskey anyway. They just blend stuff together that they acquire. So you see, all they had to do was go find some, 6-year age Colilla, some 7-year age Highland, single malt, some 8-year age Speyside, some grain whiskey that's probably 3 or 4 years old, and then blend it. See, so there is no Johnnie Walker whiskey on its own. It's developed from existing whiskeys, and they put their name on it. It's like Clan MacGregor, same thing. There's no Clan MacGregor whiskey. It's a blend of different whiskeys that they own, because, like I said, William Grant & Sons owns the big grain whiskey distillery, bourbon. They own Balvenie, and they own Glenfiddich, and I know there's some others. So they have access to a lot of stuff, and they create it and they put a name on it. It's like Buffalo Trace with bourbon. They've got 2 main mash bills. They got 2 recipes. They make 2 bourbons, but they got 50 different brands. They just flip it different ways. Age at 3 years, age at 4 years, age at 5 years, age at 6 years, age at 7 years, age at 8 years. See what I mean? The same 80 proof. Then they'll go to an 86 proof. Age at 3, age at 5, age at 7. Or they'll change the proof on it. 80, 86, 90, 100. That's a common one they like to run with, 100. I saw Buffalo Trace. Sazerac Rye from Buffalo Trace. I saw Sazerac Rye yesterday, 100 proof. I heard about it, but I finally saw it. Same thing. They just left it at 100 instead of bringing it down to 90. So they're taking 2 mash bills, and then there's a third. There's a wheated. They use that one. Oh, well. Joe Hill says, morning, Ron. I am sure George didn't like the outcome of the Phillies-Dodgers game last night. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he was aggravated. That was pathetic. And they brought in their old legendary player, Kershaw, but he couldn't handle it. But it's sad because he wanted to go out with a blaze of glory instead of a dud. But sometimes people hang around too long. But maybe they'll bounce back and they'll win it, and then he'll go to the World Series and pitch a perfect game. Be the Don Larson of 2025. But I wouldn't look for it, but it could happen. Henry in Louisville says, hope Tulane wins tonight. Me too. Somebody at work said they're probably going to lose. I think they're a little bit worried about the game. I'm definitely worried about the game, but I'm not like panicked over it. I think East Carolina is scary, like a scary team to play. I'm nervous about it, but I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay home because I don't like those midweek games. That's why I don't get season tickets. That's one of the reasons I don't get season tickets anymore, because they used to always play Saturday afternoon, sometimes Saturday night at 7. It was so convenient, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock, wouldn't be home late. But then with television contracts, they got to play whenever ESPN tells them to play. So Thursday night at 7, Friday night at 8. Barely ever see Saturday afternoon. I mean, they're making big money off of it, fine, but it's not convenient to me. So could I go to the game tonight? Yeah, easily. It's only 28 miles away. Could park, no problem, but I'll probably get a ticket with no effort. I went to the game last time, got a ticket for free. Actually, I got 3 tickets for free, and I just the other 2 got thrown away because nobody was showing up. The people I called were like, I can't go tonight. I can't go. So I went free, no charge. A guy said, "You need a ticket?" I said, "Yeah." He said, he told his wife, "Get those tickets out." He just hand me one. I said, "Well, I might have some people coming. You got any extra?" He said, "Yeah." Gave me 3. So, it's like $30 at the window for the cheap seats, but he got them. But these guys give big money to the university. These guys, they give, they might give 20, 30,000 a year in donation, and they just give them stacks of tickets for each game. And it still was packed with people. So Clan MacGregor is a winner. It's always a winner. It's always a winner. And I like it, and I would recommend it, and it's a great deal. And I'm so glad I got those 2 bottles for $5 a piece. Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire was a limited edition anyway. It says it right there on the bottle, limited edition. Wasn't intended to last. And when the series went off the air or off the broadcast, they stopped making it. But I did get it, and I tried, and I like it. And these things can last on the shelves for years, years. I find old bottles of liquor all the time. I mean, really old bottles from the 1980s. I told my friend David, I said, "You going to open that bottle in this century or what?" Because he found a bottle of Seagram's Canadian Hunter. Not Canadian Hunter, the thing you see everywhere. Seagram's Canadian Hunter. I said, "You realize Seagram sold that brand to Sazerac in 1989, right?" So that would mean the bottle is probably 36 years or older. Could go back to 84 because you can see it's really low tech. Like it says proof of purchase. We got this little dotted line where you could cut it out with scissors. It's so funny. But same basic label as today, but different bottle design. Tastes different, doesn't taste the same. Sazerac changed it. Tastes more like VO, Seagram's VO. But it's like, oh yeah, he says, "I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it." I said, "Okay." I don't care. I've had it. I drank my whole bottle. But I'm just thinking, like, what's the delay? It's like you have it, you bought it, you got it for $8.99. I mean, that's a super deal. You never drink it. You gotta he's got a relic of history, artifact of history. But I don't care what people do with their products. I care what I do with mine. Okay, now so you were talking about George. He called me yesterday, day before yesterday. He called me Tuesday night. He was all excited. He's like, "I bought 2 bottles." I said, "What?" "Of the Seagram 7 Crown Apple." I said, "You did?" "Yeah." Because this store, I mean, it was like amazing. They had Seagram 7 Crown Apple, regularly about $18 or $19. Good product. I've had it. Good stuff. He found it for $3.99. And I know the store. The manager of the store said, "You going to buy some more?" I said, "Are you going to buy it?" I said, "Well, I already had it. I don't need to. I know what apples taste like. Tastes like green apple. Good stuff." But $3.99 a bottle, full size bottle, a shopping basket full of it. So he told me, "Man, I bought 2 bottles." I said, "Really?" "Yeah, for that price." I said, "What did you think?" He said, "I took 4 shots last night. I was sleeping. I was knocked out. I slept all night." I said, "I can believe it." So I said, "It's better out the freezer." He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the freezer." He said, "I'm gonna buy 4 more bottles." I said, "For what?" He said, "Just to give to people like gifts, because they're not gonna know it was $3.99." I said, "That is a good idea, actually." So, but I told that manager at the store, I said, "If you get the salted caramel, I'll buy a bottle." He said, "No, no, no, we can't get that. We can't get that one." I said, "That's the one I would buy for $3.99. I probably would buy it. Just think, you could buy 10 bottles, it'd be $39.99 for 10 bottles of Seagram's salted caramel, or right now the apple, which is if you like flavored whiskey, it is a great product. Does it rival Crown Royal apple? Yes, I believe it does. Because think about it, they're coming from the same parent company. They probably get their apple flavoring or just their apples from the same people. The only difference is Seagram's is from Indiana and the Crown Royal is from Canada, but it's the same. It's probably the same, more or less. All right, we all take care of the winner. The clear and present winner is Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire, but don't look at the price. If you look at the price, then it's not the winner, because Clan MacGregor can battle. It can battle. It can really battle MacGregor, right? All right, but it can battle. And even if you pay full price, it's still cheap. And I got it for super discount, $5, $5, $5 per bottle. Still can't believe it, but I got it. And I have an unopened bottle in the cabinet. Crazy, man. Crazy. All right. Well, oh, they got discounted tequila at that store right now. Silver and gold, and from good brands too. But I got too much tequila. I was like, yeah, I could get that's like 40% off, I said, no, I got too much tequila. I got like 10 bottles unopened of gold and silver. I cannot buy anymore. It's insanity. And don't even talk about rum. All right, we all take care now. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, everybody.